Dwyane Wade was never supposed to be forgotten. One of the greatest guards in NBA history, yet somehow he's the one people overlook. It was all about Shaq, then LeBron, and hey, what was Kobe up to? D-Wade found himself in the shadows. Even at his peak, he won a championship, built Miami into a powerhouse, and then saw injuries take him out of the spotlight. And before he knew it, Wade County had become LeBron's team. But the thing is, he welcomed it. Dwyane was willing to sacrifice because winning mattered more. He took pay cuts, gave up power and superstardom to watch his team reach the pinnacle. But in the end, all that loyalty meant nothing. When he came to get the money he deserved, Miami pushed him out of his own house. The man who made the Heat relevant wasn't even appreciated by the team he had sacrificed everything for. And in a way, that was Wade's entire career. An all-time great who never got treated like one.
But before injuries, I'm like, MJ, I'm coming for you.
Dwyane Wade's playstyle was constantly on full throttle. He played every game like his life was on the line, which was a reflection of his childhood. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, Wade was surrounded by drugs, gang culture, and poverty. His mother was a victim of that life. She battled substance abuse and was in and out of jail, leaving Dwyane on his own to figure out how to live in this violent world. But in 1990, he got his lifeline. At 8 years old, Wade's father stepped in, took custody, and moved him into his place in a different part of town, changing the trajectory of his life. In the early 90s, his father introduced him to basketball, and as a Chicago native during this time, Michael Jordan was everything. He was the hero Dwyane wanted to model his game after, and he did a damn good job. By his senior year in high school, Wade was the best player in the state. However, colleges were hesitant to recruit him because of his bad grades. All of them except Marquette. They took a shot on the kid, and despite missing his freshman season due to academic ineligibility, Dwyane put in work off the court and earned the green light for his sophomore season. Right out the gates, D-Wade became one of the best players in the country, despite playing the season with a torn meniscus. So that offseason, he had his left meniscus removed, sacrificing long-term health for a quicker return to the court. A decision that seemed right for now. In 2003, Wade shook the nation, leading Marquette to the Final Four, which skyrocketed his draft stock into the top 10. Yeah, D-Wade was still overlooked, an afterthought in a draft headlined by generational talents. But whoever lands him is about to hit gold.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Dwyane Wade from Marquette University.
Drafted 5th overall, Dwyane Wade was off to Miami, a city where its bright lights and endless beaches masked a franchise searching for a purpose. The Heat had fallen into mediocrity after a decade of early playoff exits. They were desperate for a savior who can electrify the city and lead them to glory, and that hero had fallen right into their lap. As a rookie, D-Wade took a team that won 25 games the previous season to the playoffs, where we saw flashes of superstardom. In his first postseason game with the clock winding down, he crosses over and floats home the game winner with 1 second left. The Heat, however, would go on to lose in round 2. But that's all Miami had to see. This was the savior they'd been looking for. In fact, they were so confident in the kid that they went all in.
The major headline around the league tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat have agreed to a trade that will send Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest big men of all time, to sunny South Florida.
Miami's two-headed monster bulldozed through the NBA in 2005. Shaq was his dominant self, while D-Wade became one of the elite two-way players in the game. On defense, he had a sixth sense for steals and deflections, and could block shots like a center. While on offense, he was a one-man fast break. No one could stay in front of him, so much so that Shaq nicknamed him the Flash, and the only thing that could slow him down was an injury. Up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the defending champions, Wade missed Game 6 due to a strained rib muscle. Detroit won, seized the momentum, and won Game 7 to make it to the finals. Had it not been for the injury, the Heat likely played for a championship. But you can't get caught up in that what-if mentality in this league. It's just the nature of the sport. This had to happen. It was the spark. Wade put the league on notice in 2006, leaping up to 27 points a night and leading the Heat to 52 wins as the second seed in their conference. They'd go on to beat his hometown Bulls in 6 in round 1, torch the Nets in 5, and in an Eastern Conference Finals rematch against the 64-win Pistons, the Flash took care of unfinished business. He averaged 26 points on 62% shooting, with 5 boards, 5 dimes, and elite defensive play to miraculously make it to the NBA Finals. Bad news, they're facing Dirk Nowitzki right smack in the middle of his prime. And it was a reality check. A 2-0 series deficit right off the rip. It seemed like it was all too much too soon for D Wade, and with Shaq getting double teamed into oblivion, the Heat looked dead in the water. They needed a spark, a miracle, a savior.
Welcome to beautiful Miami, Florida, where tonight this city will host its first ever NBA Finals game. But their beloved Heat, who's in a desperate situation, in need of a win, trailing the Dallas Mavericks 2-0. Wade, it's good! 1-point game. Up to the basket. Lob, knocked away. And the Miami Heat right back in the NBA Finals. Walker to O'Neal. The NBA Finals are tied at 2 games apiece. Wade pulls up. Bang! Dwyane Wade again. Oh, my. Wade looking. Pulls up. Banks it in. Tie game. And Miami wins again to take a 3-2 lead. The NBA season could come to an end tonight. The Miami Heat win, and they're champions. Wade spinning, falling away. It's good. Wade. Now, are you going to foul? Terry puts it up. Won't go. Rebound, Wade. The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history.
Congratulations, 2006 MVP, Dwyane Wade.
In just his 3rd season at 24 years old, D Wade put up 34 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game to win the championship and the Finals MVP, and delivered by Shaq. I mean, look at the numbers this dude put up after going down 2-0. It's one of the great Finals carry jobs ever. For the first time in his career, Wade wasn't overshadowed. He was the man, and being the 5th pick in the draft just 3 years ago now seems like the steal of the decade. This kid has the potential to become one of the greats. But you know what they say, the quicker you rise, the harder you fall. The NBA landscape is an unforgiving beast. Think of it as a carousel. One day you're the greatest player in the world, riding high in the spotlight, praised as the next Michael Jordan. Then things don't go your way, and suddenly the ride spins out of control and throws you off, as it finds any excuse to put someone else in your place. Someone new, someone fresh. D Wade experienced it firsthand. Chasing a repeat in 2007, Wade dislocated his left shoulder. Miami lost in round 1. He undergoes surgery on both his shoulder and his left knee as the spotlight snaps to another young superstar fresh off a finals appearance. In 2008, Miami cratered with a 15-67 record. They traded Shaq, and with nagging pain to that left knee that's been bothering him since college, Wade was shut down for the second half of the season. And now, just like that, the league had moved on, leaving him in the shadows. So how about a reintroduction on the world's biggest stage? Prior to his rookie season, Dwyane Wade was on that 2004 Olympic roster that suffered one of the greatest meltdowns in USA basketball history. Fast forward to Beijing in 2008, and Wade had redemption on his mind, both for his country and himself. As part of the USA's Redeem team with the likes of Kobe, LeBron, Carmelo, and Bosh, it was Wade who led the team in scoring to capture the gold medal, an achievement that Dwyane later called the most important moment of his career. It was his reintroduction to the world, and above all, he was finally healthy. Back in the NBA, the Flash was on that type of timing once again. The speed, the pop, the explosive athleticism, it was all back. He won the scoring title, averaging 30 points per game, alongside 5 boards, 7 dimes, 2 steals, and a block in one of the all-time seasons we've seen from a guard. Oh, and he did this too.
Chalmers, Wade with a steal, with 2. Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, baby! He did it! Dwyane Wade with the steal and the game winner!
09 D Wade had me floating. Was he MVP worthy? No. But he did finish third in voting behind LeBron and Kobe, and third in Defensive Player of the Year voting as well. Wade was at his peak, re-established as one of the top players in the world. The season, however, ended in the first round. And I mean, at this point, another championship was an afterthought. Dwyane was virtually alone. The team was a mix of young and old role players with no sense of identity. And surprisingly, we'd see the same roster in 2010. Coming off